Hey, what's going on everyone? 100 with Real Outdoors, and today we're going to be talking about the Kuiu Encounter Series jacket and pants. Unfortunately, these will not fit like a jeans. So here is the Encounter Series jacket. Now think of this as kind of like a soft shell jacket, more of like a mid-weight layer. The Encounter Series is a mid-weight anti-odor, very quiet series jacket. This one only weighs 23.4 ounces, which is pretty lightweight. It is made of a high stretch material, pretty abrasion resistance from what I've heard, but the most important thing is that it is extremely quiet. And I used this a lot during my whitetail season last year, and I could definitely attest that it's extremely quiet. So you can see it does have a zipper that is also extremely quiet for easy on, easy off. Next thing I'd like to note is the two inner pockets you do have on the chest. They are quite large pockets. And one thing that's pretty neat is they have a little loop in here where if you have like a little lanyard for your rangefinder or any other kind of goods, calls, things like that, you can attach this in here. That way you don't have to, wear any kind of extra items. And same thing goes on the other side. Now I'd like to talk about the inside material. It is this high stretch, as I mentioned earlier, and for my military guys, think of this as like a waffle top type material. It's got this like nice honeycomb pattern, and it does keep me pretty warm during some colder temps. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this was made for tree stand hunting for whitetails, and you can see it does have a spot for your safety harness to go through, so that way you can put your harness on, put your lanyard through the back, clip it into the tree stand, and be able to wear this jacket without having a big harness on the outside, which I really appreciate. And this is kind of a smaller detail, but I really appreciate the cuffs have this little piece right here of some rather higher stretch materials, so that way if you're wearing like any kind of wrist things like watches, GPSs, or even a release for your bow, this allows the jacket to cover over top of whatever you need to be, maybe some thicker gloves, stuff like that. And of course, like many soft shell jackets, you do have a zipper vent for under the arms, which is extremely nice if you're wearing this jacket on. I always like to vent everything as I'm walking up to my tree stand, or if I'm, walking during a day hike, or if I'm walking doing some scouting during the day. It's always nice to be able to open those and vent out so that way you're not sweating. And on the bottom two sides, you do have some pull straps that there is basically a piece of cordage that runs along the bottom, so you can get this really nice and tight to your body. That way not any kind of wind or anything is coming up into the jacket. And of course you do have two pockets right here. One thing I really like about these is they're actually magnetized, so they're really easy to get to if you are wearing gloves. Again, pockets are quite large, but just a really nice little feature to have, make sure nothing's falling out. One thing that's really nice in these two bottom pockets here is they have another little pocket to where you can put hand warmers on the inside here. And this is made of a double knit polyester, as well as the pants and all the other Encounter Series. I have been out in this in kind of like a light rain. It does a very nice job of repelling all that, but it is not waterproof, so I would not consider using this as a rain jacket, but if it's a light rain, you'll be fine. And next up is going to be the Encounter Series pant, and I've absolutely loving these. These are by far my favorite pant that I have worn to date. They do come with suspenders, which if you're not a suspenders kind of guy, hunting in a tree stand is real pain when you don't have suspenders, because typically when you're all clipped into everything, your harness can actually pull your pants kind of down a bit, and letting a lot of unwanted air, especially cold air, in places you don't want it to be. So suspenders help keep your pants where you want them, and those are easily removable if you do not want those. Again, on the inside, same honeycomb material, nice button zip up in the front. These pockets are angled pretty nicely. They're not the biggest things. They're really only about that wide, but just for like small stuff, keeping your hands in your pocket, it definitely does the job. So the pants are made of the same exact material as the jacket. And one thing like the jacket, this also has some vents. Now these vents are on the side, and I cannot express to you how much I love these things. Again, hiking into like a stand, a blind, whatever it may be when it's cooler out, but you're all bundled up. This helps so much to prevent overheating. That's definitely something you don't want to do. I imagine using this out west, it'll be great for doing the enormous amount of walking around and climbing that I'll be doing. Now on the thighs, you do have these pockets, which are pretty interesting. So if you can imagine, this is how my leg would be if you were looking down and I was sitting in like a tree stand. They have these zipper pockets to be able to access the top, which is really, really handy. It's a great place to put like a phone, some extra calls, or snacks, whatever you need. But they also have a side pocket, so that way, if for whatever reason these are all filled up or whatever, you can access more storage on the side. And these are two separate compartments, so you do really get a ton of storage out of these guys. These pants come in at 26.1 ounces. The Encounter series is pretty wind resistant, and I've definitely been sitting in tree stands on some windy days, and they do a pretty good job of mitigating that. I have been using these pants all the way to 26 degrees. Typically what I'll do is have some kind of under layer underneath this, like a long johns or Poly Pro, or waffle bottoms for military guys, but even just these, I've had them in like 32 degrees weather without no problem whatsoever. And like a lot of other hunting pants, they do have the big zipper along the side, so that way if you're wearing like some heavier duty boots, muck boots, what have you. The bottom of the pant is very durable. This is kind of like a jean or like Carhartt type material, but these things have been holding up pretty well, especially in prickly areas. And again, with that zipper, you do have a little button up here to kind of make sure that that doesn't come undone as you're walking around. Now this is going to be kind of like a little bonus item. Those other two are the main Encounter series, but this is also part of the Encounter series. This is a warming layer, or like insulation layer is what they would refer to as on Kuiu.com. For my military guys, think of this as a waffle top. So you get that same honeycomb material, does keep me pretty warm. 100% made polyester, is also a high stretch material, so this is definitely working out great for me as a mid layer. And just like the actual waffle top, you get a little thumb hole, which I actually really enjoy using, especially in colder climates, because I like to put these kind of over my gloves as I'm wearing to help insulate even further. And you can see it does have a quarter zip here in the front. Again, really good for as you're walking to your tree stand, blind, what have you, to open that up and let yourself vent as much as possible to prevent sweating. But this actually does a very good job of wicking the moisture off your body and keeping you dry and warm. This is in the Verde pattern, and the other two I have are in the Velo pattern. And of course, all those items are available in all the different colors, as well as some solid colors. I've really been impressed with using the Kuiu stuff, and turkey season's about to come here in the state of Michigan, so I'm definitely going to be using all of this equipment a lot more. Now, Kuiu is an expensive brand, but it is definitely, you pay for what you get. I've been super impressed with the quality and comfort of everything I've owned Kuiu. And I've been using a lot of different brands over the years. I will go ahead and link all the Encounter series stuff in the description down below. This weekend I am going to get out for opening of turkey, so stay tuned for that content coming out soon. If you're into all kinds of other outdoor stuff, whether it be shooting, hunting, fishing, overlanding, off-roading, all that kind of fun stuff, really appreciate a like and subscribe. I do a lot of different things here on the channel, and definitely appreciate you checking out what we do here. And until then guys, we'll catch you in the next one.